I'm Izumi. I'm in my late 20s. I'm single. Am I gonna be alone for the rest of my life? I want to get married and have kids. All my friends were getting married. I was starting to feel lonely and left behind. Koji is so adorable. I really want to get married. One day, I was talking to my friend from college, Keiko. Koji was her 3-year-old son. She always sent me his picture. He was adorable. We always talked about him, but... Yeah, anyways, last week For some reason, she changed the subject that day. Did I say something to upset her? Then she stopped calling me. I was kind of worried. But then, a few days later, she called me again. Sorry to bother you like this, but I really need your help. I had the day off, so I said, Sure, anything. What do you need? I was worried about you, I said to her. Koji, he got sick. He's in the hospital right now. What? I didn't know what to say to her. I've been with him this whole time and I haven't eaten anything in days. Could you bring me some food? She sounded weak. She really needed my help. Of course, I'll bring you some food right away. Which hospital? I had some rice in the fridge, so I made some rice balls and headed towards the hospital. The hospital was a 10-minute drive from my place. I got my stuff, called a cab, and headed over there. When I got there, I bought some tea. Tea was probably enough. I thought it was just Keiko and Koji. But then, when I walked in... Keiko! Sorry I'm late.
You're not the nurse. Who are you? What do you want?
I know her. That's Keiko's friend, Izumi.
I was expecting to see Keiko and Koji, but... Keiko's husband, Satoru, was there. The old lady was probably his mother. Keiko was sitting next to the bed. She looked exhausted. Her eyes were all red. Looks like she was crying. Keiko, how is he? He's hanging in there. But then, her mother-in-law said to me,
What are you doing here? You got something for us?
Oh, right. I took out the food. I also brought some money. It wasn't much, but I wanted to help, so... But then, when I tried to hand it to Keiko... Her mother-in-law took it from me. I didn't even know what to say.
That's it? You're so cheap. What's wrong with you?
Seriously?
So again, what are you doing here?
Satoru said to me. I don't think I was welcome here. Keiko told me Koji was sick, so I brought her some food and drinks. I handed her food I made. Her mother-in-law kept her hands to herself this time. Then the nurse walked in. I was kind of relieved, but then...
Give me that! I'm starving!
Satoru grabbed the food out of Keiko's hands and started eating. Then his mother said to me,
That's it? How cheap are you? You're useless. No wonder you're friends with Keiko. She can't even give birth to a healthy child.
Was she being serious? The nurse was standing right next to her, but she didn't even care.
What kind of mother are you, huh? I don't want a sick grandson.
I couldn't believe what she was saying. Then,
Hey, you single? Nurses make a lot of money, right?
She said to the nurse.
Hey, Satoru, why don't you marry her instead? Keiko is useless. She can't even give birth to a healthy child.
She said to Satoru.
That's not a bad idea. I love nurses.
Yeah, and she's much younger than Keiko. She's useless. Dump her ass.
Keiko looked upset. Then she started crying. How could she say that to her? She's a terrible person. I had to say something to her, but then... Keiko, right? Don't cry. It's gonna be okay. You got a really nice friend here. The nurse said to her, putting her hand on her shoulder. Then she looked at her mother-in-law and said, Did you know the number of lonely deaths has been on the rise over the years, and it usually happens to people like you? You really think this kind of behavior is acceptable? If you don't stop this, everyone's gonna leave you, and you're gonna die a lonely death. She wasn't expecting this, but then...
But, if you marry my son, I'll be set. Problem solved.
She wasn't even making sense anymore. Are you okay? You might have dementia. You should go see a doctor. She snapped at her. That shut her up. You're a great mother. Don't ever doubt that. I'm gonna ask your husband and his mother to leave now. You just get some rest, okay? Then the nurse called for some backup.
Where's your visitor's pass? And you gotta wear a mask. You two can't be in here. Leave, now.
But
The male nurse kicked him out. Phew. After Koji got better, Keiko divorced Satoru. And turns out he didn't even have a job. He quit a few months ago, saying it wasn't for me. Keiko was the one providing for him. His mother-in-law tried to fight the divorce. She was probably scared about what that nurse told her about dying alone. But her husband put a stop to that. Her husband was abroad at the time. But when his wife told him about the divorce, he came home for a few days, but then...
Why did you tell me about Koji? And he got sick because of you! You left him out of the rain!
When he found out about Koji, he got furious with her. Koji got his licks from me, and I don't think she liked that. She was always really mean to him. She was really abusive to both of us. I see. Oh, and Keiko recorded her mother-in-law every time she was abusive to her. She had more than enough evidence against them. Her husband sold their house to pay for damages. So now they were out on the streets. He sent his son to go work at a farm his friend owned, and he took his wife with him abroad. So now she was all alone in some foreign country. Sucks for her. I'm just glad they're out of her life. A few months later, I'm glad I bought this place. I might be single for the rest of my life, but oh well. Izumi, thank you so much for letting us stay here. We're gonna get our own place soon. Don't worry about it. You can stay here for as long as you like. Keiko and Koji moved in with me after that. She paid me rent and I really enjoyed having them around, so I didn't mind at all. See you later. And Koji was feeling much better now. I'm just glad everything worked out for them. Thank goodness.
Thanks for watching! Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. Bye!